Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our wonderful and juicy and delicious little subscribers out there. Hello, welcome my delicious babies. I hope that you're all super duper well wherever you are in the world and that life is treating you oh so deliciously. Okay, 3, 2, 1, beam me up, okay? Now then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to, sorry, me lads. Sorry about that, everybody. To any passers-by, okay? So I too hope that you're super duper well wherever you are in the world. Okay, and love to you all as well. Now then, the weather in my neck of the woods, sorry, everybody. Right, okay, so the weather in my neck of the woods in the old UK, well, the sun has got his hat on, hip, 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 hooray, but it's not very warm, okay? My neck of the woods in the old UK, it's rather chilly, okay? So this is why I've got a jumper on. Mind you, so saying that, I mean, I had the heating on, but it just was been, you know, so it just went super duper hot. So I thought, well, I've got to switch it off. And then, of course, you know what I mean? I just thought, well, I'll just, what's happened? What's happened there? Sorry, everybody, just a moment. What's happened there then? I never did anything. Hold on a moment, everybody. There we go, okay? So that's that. I am going to need to replace them very shortly, my lights, you know, my juicy little lights, because they're going to start to go a little bit dull, aren't they? Anyway, so let me get back to the matter of that. Sometimes I do just ramble on, you know, everybody. You all know what I'm like by now, don't you, anyway? So yeah, so it's very rather windy out there as well today, everybody, so it's not super duper warm, okay? Now then, so, you know, there's just some things I want to talk about today. So, surprise, everybody, right? Well, there isn't any surprise, is there? Because when I've got something to say, I shall say it. You can all be sure. There we go. Thank you, dear spirit. You can all be sure of that one, okay? Now, so it seems that, so we've got Rishi Sunak now, everybody, okay? So, well, of course, I said many years ago, I was actually having a conversation with my wonderful and delicious little friend Kaz yesterday, and she is slowly on the mend, everybody. So at some point in the near future, we shall be doing more videos together, okay? Because, you know, she's a bit like my... do you know what I mean? It's like we're two, not in that way, everybody, as you very well know, but it's like, you know what I mean? We're a really good duo together. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? So I look forward to doing more videos with my wonderful and delicious little friend Kaz. Ah, God bless you, darling. Yes, okay? So we were having a conversation yesterday on the old, you know, dog and bone. And what it was is that we were having a discussion over this, yes? And what it is, see, here's how I see things, right? Now, years ago, so we're going back 10 years ago, everybody, right? Now, 10 years ago, I'd actually said that we would have an Asian Prime Minister. Yes, I did, okay? And my wonderful and delicious little friend Kaz, she actually, you know, said that herself to me on the telephone yesterday, right? So, and she'd gladly tell you. If she was here now, she would tell you what I said, okay? So, you know, maybe 10 years later, but of course now we have an Asian Prime Minister. Now, I've got nothing against any colour. As I've said to everybody, you know, we've all got the same colour blood running through our veins. Do you understand what I mean? So it doesn't matter if we're lighter, if we're darker, whatever, okay? But, you see, when I look at Rishi Sunak going in, right, because he's another twat, in my opinion. Now, I'm entitled to my opinion, okay? He's a twat, just like Liz Truss, just like Boris Johnson. They're all twats. And I do not care how much pounds, shilling, pence, dollars and change, ka-ching, that they've got. I've said it before and I say it again. You see, a man or a woman could be suited and booted, does not make them a man or a woman. if everybody, my delicious little babies, follow me out there. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So they can have all the riches they like. But the fact of the matter is, if they're so flipping arrogant and ignorant, right, and up their own holes, because that's what they all are. In fact, when we look at the majority, okay, of MPs or anybody like that, right, you know, because they all love their own self-importance, don't they? Do you understand what I mean? So it's me, 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 me. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? But of course, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't matter how we dress this up in pretty little bows. The fact of the matter is that somebody else is pulling all their strings. So they are the lackeys for who is pulling their strings, everybody. Okay? So let's not forget about that. Okay? So how long do we see him lasting? Well, if I have to say, not very long. Now, and let's just see, shall we, everybody, what damage he makes, okay? Because he's just going to do the same. It reminds me of when we were at school, right? I mean, mind you, that's could be many moons ago. Do you understand what I mean? Anyway, I'm not old. Right, anyway. And you know, like where you're behind the curtain, you know, like if it's a stage and you're on a, you know, behind the curtain, you know, then you're waiting for your turn. Or say if you're all stood on the, you know, on the stage, you know, and then it's like, oh, you know, because you had to rehearse your lines and everything like that. Well, this is exactly what's going on now, everybody, right? And has been for rather a long while, okay? So it's like they all have their turn, don't they? But we get back to the same thing, do we not? Yes, we do. And that is that nobody has elected any of these. Do you see what I mean? So that in itself is out of control. Yes, it is. Do you see what I'm saying, everybody? Yes? So if anybody out there, so I'm not being disrespectful to anybody because you're all entitled to your opinions, my delicious and wonderful little babies, okay? And I'm entitled to my opinions and views. And the way I see it is like this. Your man there's just going to cause more damage. Do you see what I'm saying to you? He's not there for man and woman. No, he's not. He's been put in specifically for a specific reason, everybody, just like the others was, okay? But the fact is, they're all twats. And I will always continue to say that because that's what they are, okay? And they're all money hungry. They're all greedy, okay? They're greedy little hogs. They are, all of them, okay? And really, I'm going to be perfectly honest, they do not deserve, none of them deserve any respect from any of the public. No, they do not. And of course, you know, you look at this Keir Starmer, sir, right? Well, he can call himself whatever he flipping likes, actually. He's another one who's up there flipping holes. Do you understand what I mean? There we go. Thank you, dear Spirit, right? He's another one, isn't he, everybody? Do you see what I'm saying to you? So, of course, if anybody thinks out there that, you know, eventually if Labour was to get in, that anything would change, well, I've got news, everybody, my delicious little babies, for some of you out there, because for others of you, you will already know what I'm just about to say. The fact of the matter is that nothing would change. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, of course, I mean, we've still got those crossing over the channel, so that's still taking place. Do you see what I mean? So really at the end of the day, nothing's getting done about that, is it? And then some of them, you know, they've managed to, you know, hold them, but for others of them, well, you know, they've disappeared. Do you see what I mean? You know, into society. When really, I mean, when we look at it, I mean, they should never have been put in that position either anyway. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? I mean, you've got Ireland. Well, they're getting sick and tired of things as well, everybody. Do you see what I mean? So it seems very much to me that in the UK, in Ireland, in Scotland, with what's going on there, everybody, right? And of course, you know, because there's going to be investigations into why, God bless them, may you rest in peace, our little babies, why there happens to be so many, God bless them and their dear mothers and fathers, so many beautiful little babies, you know, things happening. Do you see what I mean? And why, God bless them, beautiful little babies, why they're passing away? So you've got that going on up in Scotland, plus you've got stupid teachers, and I do not like that word, but you've got stupid teachers who are flipping brain dead. Do you see what I mean? So you've got that going on. You've got other parts of the world, you know, where everything's going on. Do you understand what I mean? You know, all different countries. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes? And it seems to me that you've only got a handful, you know, figure of speech, you've got a handful who are running the world. And of course, they're using all of these to do all of this. Do you see what I'm saying? So how do you pay somebody to get some, you know, you go ka-ching, ka-ching, and that's what you do to get somebody to do what you want them to do. Do you see, everybody? So this is how I view the world at the moment. Do you see? And then there's the other thing I wanted to say. So, of course, we look at this as well. Now, I was happening to look at, just corrected myself then. I happened to look at comments, you know, different comments on different platforms, you know, just to see who's saying what, really. But you're getting a lot, it appears, okay? I'm only speaking from what I've been reading, yes? That you've got an awful lot who are saying, well, Rishi Sunak is not our Prime Minister. I've seen other comments where others were saying, who had ever typed, okay, saying that, so we got the Obama of the UK. Well, I mean, let's take a look at Obama. Do you see what I mean? You know, the one in America, that, you know, that everybody was tricked. Do you see what I mean? That there was going to be good things happening and everything like that. And then it turned out to be completely the opposite, everybody. You see what I mean? You couldn't get a more corrupt man. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? And his wife, or is it his husband? Anyway, it can be whoever he wants anyway. I'm not bothered about that. The fact of the matter is, so we're seeing a mixture of different views here. Do you see what I mean? Then there's the other thing as well, which when I was reading the comments, so I'm only telling you what I was reading, and this is on different platforms, and there's an awful lot of different platforms, okay? That, and, you know, obviously, you know, man and woman out there wanting to give their views on things, you know what I mean? And what their opinions are, you know, which everybody's in their right to say, just like I'm in, you know, in my right to say what my feelings are, how I feel about things as well. Do you see? But so there's something that I feel that there's some, not all. I'd already thought about this, by the way, my delicious little babies, for you out there. And so did my beautiful dear friend, right? That at the end of the day, you know, then you've got the other thing, haven't you? Where, you know, if we're not careful, we could go into a situation, thank you, dear Spirit, again, we could go into a situation where it's like, oh, you know, because again, it's all about divide again, isn't it? It's like, you know, we've got our Indian, you know, one of us, not meaning that nastily now when I say that, so please do not take me the wrong way, okay? I'm not a racist or anything at all, I'm just saying it the way it is, right? We've got one of ours in there, you know, so in other words, you know, we can rule others, shall we say. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So there's also that side of things as well, everybody, right? So to me, there is a number of, when we look at the agenda and why he was put there, do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? So we have to look at all different angles here, everybody. But one thing for sure, and I do not care what anybody tells me on this planet now, I have my views, my opinions, and that's it. He's not there to help any of us. No, he's not. Okay? So you see, this is the thing what's going on there. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes. Right? So really, I do not hold my breath one bit. Okay? So we'll just see how long he lasts for, right? And of course, you know, Boris Twat Johnson, because you got Rishi Sunak twat as well, right? But Boris Johnson, well, I mean, in reality, I mean, there was talk about what's that, 102 seats or whatever it is. Do you understand what I mean? You got others still out there, you know, in this suited and booted world, you know. Do you know what I mean? Esquire, right? Where at the end of the day, oh, you know, but we like Boris. Do you understand them? Oh, Boris has got a nice personality. No, he hasn't. He's a self-serving, Prick is what he is. Okay? He's only ever thinking about himself. And let's not forget either, everybody, that again, they're all jumping on flipping planes here, there and everywhere when others are having trouble with travel and everything like that, everybody. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? My delicious little babies. You all following me? You see? And change the subject now, so that's my views on that. Let's change the subject. So, where are all the masks, the old muzzles? You know, because you're not seeing a lot of the MPs, are you? With the old muzzles on. Are we? We're not, are we? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, you've had them in certain countries, do you know what I mean? But we all know what that's about. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, yes? So the fact of the matter is, and you're not really hearing a lot on the old COVID. So you're not hearing a lot on that either, are we? It seems, do you say? Everybody. So it's almost like they pick and choose. So correct me if I'm wrong here. I could be wrong, but I do not believe I am. Nobody's right all the time. I'm not right all the time. I'm just saying that they seem to pick and choose, don't they? Do you see what I mean? Then when they're going to bring out the flipping old muzzles again? Do you see what I mean? But of course, you know, you still got, because we live in the land of stupid, okay, everybody, that, and again, I do not like that word, but, you know, it must be used sometimes, yes? As we're living in the land of stupid, you've still got stupid man and woman out there, haven't you? And I'm not going to take back anything I say, because it's completely bonkers. And even the governments and everything tell them that they do not have to wear them. And yet they're still wearing them. You know, what the hell is all that about? Do you see what I mean? It's completely flipping bonkers and crazy. Now then, changing the subject, I want to go on to, I've just been shown very heavy waves. So something's coming, there we go, something's coming, everybody. They've just been showing me really heavy waves, so something's coming. Right, anyway. So, let's change the subject. So at the start of this whole pandemic, everybody, right? Well, we had, when we look around the world, okay, we had like a handful. I just use that as a figure of speech, okay? So we had a handful of doctors, right, who were telling the truth, of course, you know, banned from, you know, saying things on certain platforms and everything like that, yes? And they were speaking the truth from the word go, and they were saying, you know, not to take any of these jabs, not to do any of that, right? And, you know, and then they were going into it to find out what was in it and everything like that, right? And, of course, they stood by their beliefs, and God bless them for doing that. And I know which ones they were, because I was following it right from the start. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? Yes? But then you've got other doctors I've noticed. Right, don't get me wrong. I've been noticing this, everybody. Sorry, for quite a while now. And when they first started out, it was like, oh, you know, a bit like the mainstream media, wasn't it? It's like, oh, go on, go out, go and get the jab. Then they were pretending that they'd had the jab. Yes. And now, when we've been looking over the months now, so we look over the months, and what's happening, everybody? Well, I'll tell you what's happening, and I've been monitoring things, let me tell you. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's excess, I don't like that word, do not like that word, but there's excess deaths and in the UK and, other parts of the world and everything like that. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? And all of a sudden they're coming out with this, but they managed to build themselves up with, 2.5 million fan base. Do you see what I'm saying? When they too, like the mainstream media, were telling everyone to go out and get the jabs. Do you see what I mean? Now, it seems to me, so correct me if I'm wrong here, everybody, it seems very much to me, it's like they've changed course, haven't they? But then it's like everybody's like, oh, what a wonderful doctor. Oh, because there's a number of them out there, everybody, right? And who deceived the public. Yes, they did, right? That it appears to me that these things seem to be forgotten, yes, with some, not all, right? There we go, thank you, dear spirit, right? And it's like, oh, what a super duper doctor. Do you understand what I mean? Well, I do not feel that at all. And personally speaking now, I believe, and I do not care what anyone tells me, I'm not saying this to be nasty, anybody. No, I am not. Dear God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth loves the truth, our dear Creator. They should be bloody struck off. Do you see what I mean? Now, at the beginning of this whole pandemic, right, and when we look at everything, yes, getting paid plenty of ka-ching. Do you see what I mean? To go and jab somebody's flipping arms. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes. Do you see what I mean? Right? And then all of a sudden, like, because it's all been turned around now, everybody, right? It's like, oh, what a wonderful doctor. Oh, thank you so much for all of the information. Blah, 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 blah. Do you see what I'm saying to you? I'll tell you something now. Well, I've got to be honest with you. I'm disgusted. I really am, everybody. I'm flipping disgusted that it all seems to be forgotten about. Do you see what I mean? When we've got mass flipping genocide going on. Murder going on. Do you see what I mean? And then they sit here. I'll give you flipping an example, actually. Like this, everybody. I'm ever so sorry, my delicious little babies, but it's really flipping wound me up, right? Like this. And then they go, yes, but, yes, and all this. And then right, and then left, and then right. Do you follow me, everybody, my delicious little babies? Do you see what I mean? This is man and woman's and babies and little bairns' lives out there, and not to mention the beautiful and delicious little and large animals in the UK and all over the world. I'm surprised that they've got any flipping fan base at all, to be perfectly honest, but they're nothing but barefaced liars. And to tell you the truth, doctors and flipping nurses are, aren't they? Everybody? Yes. Yes, they blooming well are. Do you see what I mean? And we're still hearing terrible news, thank you, dear spirit, with blood clots and flipping all sorts going on. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? And I mean, really, if these doctors wanted to, because you're not supposed to do no harm. I mean, it's one thing when you're doing so many years. I mean, how many years is it? I mean, for some, is it 11 years to become a doctor? Do you see what I mean? Because they're just, they're just to click a flipping few buttons. Do you know what I mean? Get everyone to flipping pop pills, tell lies, without even taking the time just to go, go and sit and read and learn new things. Because, because they've been to university. Do you understand what I mean? To be flipping brainwashed. I mean, when we actually look at it, when we look at doctors, nurses, when we look at these flipping putrid flipping politicians and everything like that, they're all putrid anyway, doctors and nurses. I'm not going to say every single one, but for most they are. They've got no skin on their face. And they've got no trouble at all. It doesn't, they do not have any trouble at all, sorry, do they? Just flipping injecting somebody. Do you see what I mean? Yes, I have plenty to say about that. And really all of them, every single one of them who participated in this shite needs to be flipping banged to flipping rights. And the flipping politicians, they're all putrid. Now, finally, what I want to say, I don't know if you all remember, for those of you, my delicious little babies, who are so very kind to even watch my videos, okay? So God bless you and thank you. And I hope, sorry, I forgot to say this again, didn't I? If you'd like to leave a comment, please leave a comment. If you do happen to enjoy my video, if you could please click on the like. And if you do happen to stumble across me, you do happen to enjoy my videos, if you could please click the subscribe. And thank you, please, and thank you, okay? So I don't know if you remember that I mentioned on another video, everybody, about, Kanye West. Yes. Well, you see, I mentioned it, because I felt the need to, because at the end of the day, he does not deserve what's been done to him. No, he does not. But it turns out that he's now been cancelled. But I said on another video, yes, I did, okay, that what you need to do is go on to YouTube and everywhere else, yes, and then, or even DuckDuckGo as well, right? You read up on Kanye West, okay, please and thank you. Because when you look at him in his earlier videos, right, what he's trying to get across, you see your man there's done nothing wrong, God bless him. But you see, the thing is, this is how the system is, right? And this is just as plain and simple as this, yes? Simple things. What it is, the more of an impact that, one has, whether they're male or female, yes, man or woman, and they have a heavy impact, yes, on, a lot of man and woman out there, yes? And all they want to do is spread the truth, tell the truth, say that the system is just flipping appalling, because it is the way that we've all been treated. Do you see what I mean? And like I said before, and I say it again, what is so bad that's gone on in these ones' lives who run the world and everything like that, to make them, despise us as man and woman, and little and large little animals and birdies and creatures great and small. Do you see what I'm saying to you? What so bad has happened in their lives? Well, I already flipping know. But the fact of the matter is that they should not inflict it on all of us. But when somebody tells the truth and somebody's just being honest, well, it seems that the ones running the world are not a liking. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? So that poor man now, Kanye West, well, now, he's got even more flipping problems coming at him. God bless him. So if everybody could please send out their, blessings, and good wishes to that man. Because he hasn't done anything wrong here to deserve this. But you need to look at footage from years ago to understand him. Do you see what I'm saying, my delicious little babies? Yes, for those of you who are interested. Do you see what I mean? I mean, he's ended up in God bless his dear soul. He's ended up in mental, I do not mean that in the wrong sense of the word, everybody. He's ended up in mental facilities and everything because they were saying that he was cuckoo. Not meaning that nastily, but that's what they were doing to him. Did everything. Poor man. Do you understand what I mean? So please, everybody, please say your prayers for him because, they're coming at him with everything. Do you see what I mean? And they do it to anybody else. Now, finally, sorry, there was one more thing I wanted to say. I was listening to a video this morning, while I was doing my old cleaning, right? And what was the start of it, the title of it? It said, because I was looking at all of the stuff, whilst I was doing my cleaning and listening. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Then when one video ended, then, I click on another and it starts another. And I looked at this. In fact, I never even listened to it, right? I just seen the titles. And it said that men cannot control crazy women. Well, you see, the thing is this, so it's not just because I'm defending women. Well, actually, yes, I am, because I'm a woman myself. You see what I mean? So, I mean, I never listen to it, because to be honest with you, I do not want to listen to it as far as I'm concerned. It's flipping negative as far as I'm concerned. But if a woman is, well, if they say she's crazy, do you understand what I mean? We have to look at what has brought her to that situation in the first place. There we go. Thank you, dear spirit. It's all right, the sun's gone in now. Right? So we have to look at what has made that woman the way that she is. Do you see what I mean? Because I personally do not believe that any woman's crazy. Myself. No, I do not. I feel that maybe there's been issues. I mean, I've done flipping, well, you lose count, how many readings I've done over the years, you know, on the phone and face to face. But the fact of the matter is, and yes, I've got to be honest, there are issues, you know, with some delicious little babies out there. Do you understand what I mean? But there's usually a lot more to it. So let's just give an example. So is a woman crazy then, right? So I just want to put this to you all, my delicious and wonderful little babies out there, right? So if a woman, okay, say she goes into a relationship, right? She goes into a relationship. Now, she's already got trust issues, right? Because usually this is at the top. I do not care what anyone says anyway. I've been a reader for too many years to probably know everybody, right? Not that I'm saying I know everything. No, I do not, but I know enough. Say if a woman goes into a relationship, right? So she goes into a relationship, whether it's a man or a woman she's with, okay? Doesn't make any difference, okay? So I do not mean that disrespectfully, right? Because everybody must live and let live, yes? But, well, you know, as much to a degree as what we can in the world, okay? Because there's lots of flipping craziness going on, right? But the fact of the matter is, at this moment in time, but the fact of the matter is this, everybody? So say she goes into a relationship, so if she gets to know somebody, yes? Whether they're male or female, yes? Now, if she's already been in other situations, so it could be, you know, maybe she was in a controlling relationship, maybe she was in an abusive relationship. So she could have been with somebody who was physically abusing her, not meaning this in the wrong sense of the word, mentally abusing her. Do you understand what I mean? And I've seen an awful lot of it in my years. Yes, I flipping have. And it's not very nice to see, everybody. So, of course, you know, so anyway, so let me get back to the matter in hand. So then she'd go into a relationship with somebody, say, right? And she may have trust issues. Now, if she did not, there we go, thank you, dear spirit. So if she didn't know that man or woman very well, and they could then, there we go, thank you, dear spirit, once again, see how spirits, you know, click, click, click. Right, thank you. Right, that she didn't know them very well. You see, they would find out more information about her, wouldn't they? Yes, because I see how it rocks and rolls, you see. And then, of course, they could make the situation, you know, 10 times worse. So what I'm saying is, everybody, my delicious little babies, right? If you're following what I'm saying, okay, the best way for me to try and explain this, yes? Well, they could deliberately then, to get her jealous, you know, to wind her up. Because generally speaking, if somebody's calling a woman crazy, right, then usually at the top of that would be jealousy. Or somebody who's possessive. Do you see what I'm saying, everybody? Yes? And we've seen enough of that. And, you know, me, myself, I've gone through that myself. In my earlier years, not me, by the way, being jealous of, you know, I'm talking the other way around. You know, where you couldn't speak to anybody. Do you see what I mean? But that was many moons ago, everybody, right? My point in all of this is that I wouldn't then go into another relationship, yes? Because what you do, you deal with the situation, you deal with the matter in hand, and you say to yourself, well, I'm not going to repeat that again. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? Yes, because nobody wants to be in that type of a relationship, and I've been there myself. Do you see what I mean? When somebody's calling you flipping, X amount of flipping times a flipping day, driving you absolutely around the bend and driving you flipping crackers, because I've been there myself, so I know all about that. But I made sure that I never went into another relationship like that, everybody. Do you see? Because it wasn't me who had the issue, it was who I was with years and years ago. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? Because it's like an insecurity, isn't it? But that's not my issue. That should never be put on my shoulders. So I'm just saying the way I'm seeing it. So when they say that a woman's crazy, well, I'll tell you now, I've never been crazy. No, I have not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I say for the crack, you know what I mean? Have a laugh for the crack. Do you understand what I mean? But I've never been like, do you know what I mean? Because when you go into a relationship with someone, you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's really lovely, okay? Where the two of you are equal. Do you understand what I mean? Where, you want the same things, you want to do the same things, right? And you're not jealous of the other one and they're not jealous of you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's got to be where you trust each other. Do you see what I'm saying, everybody? Because if you do not trust, well, then that's what causes the problems. It's common sense. But to call, when I've seen this title, say, men cannot control crazy women. Well, half the time, I'm not being nasty now, so please do not take me the wrong way for anybody who happens to stumble across me and delicious little babies, or for any of my beautiful and wonderful little subscribers, how I love you also, right? God bless. Right? I'm just saying that sometimes it's the men, right? And it goes on in, if you're with a woman and woman, yes, I've seen that as well, where it's usually them who get the other one jealous, right? Who send them flipping crazy, as what they would say, which they're not really crazy. Do you understand what I mean? It's just what it is. They're just trying to get a respect out of the other party. Do you see? But to flipping label, say that women, men cannot control crazy women, well, I just thought that was wrong. Because nobody's born crazy, are they? Do you know what I mean? You can get insecurity, you can get a lot of other things, yes? But nobody's born crazy, whether you're a man or a woman. I mean, if that's the case, then why didn't then why didn't he put a video up, right? If we want to go down that flipping road, let's go down that road, to say that women cannot control crazy men. Do you see what I'm saying? Because some men, they can go right off the flip. I'm not being nasty when I say this, it's a figure of speech. They can go right off the flipping heads. Do you know what I mean? I've seen women, in terrible situations over the years. Let me flipping tell you. They cannot even flipping blink. And the flipping, the man, the bloke, he goes flipping mad. Do you see what I mean? So we could say that then, couldn't we? If that's the case. But you shouldn't just say, men cannot control crazy women. No. I really disagreed with that. I really, really did, Because there's many reasons. There's lots and lots of reasons what would make, a woman, she's not feeling very happy about something. Do you understand what I mean? There's a lot of reasons, 101 reasons. Do you know what I mean? And let me tell you, over the flipping years, I've seen many, many, many flipping different relationships. Let me tell you, I have. Everybody, my delicious little babies. Yes, I have. And of course, we get back to the same thing again, don't we? It's where you're incompatible. They're not compatible to one another. Do you see what I mean? Instead of just walking away, calling it a day, it's like, oh, I cannot be without this man or this woman. Do you see what I mean? They've got to learn to live in their own skin. Do you see? And of course, that's why I've been on my own, everybody, for so many years. Not because of any other reason. It's just because, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I've enjoyed it. I've said it on previous videos. I enjoy being on my own, sorry. Yes. Because you can just be your own boss. Do you know what I mean? You do not have to answer to anybody. I don't have to wash anybody's, dirty boxer shorts or anything like that. Been there, done that, got the flipping t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? So I just wanted to give myself a number of years break. Yes, and rightfully so. I see nothing wrong with it. But I know that when I meet my forever gentleman, I do know this, everybody, right? Straight up. I shall make sure that we have things in common, that we have things to talk about, that you're not just looking at somebody's looks, their old boat race and everything else, and then getting flipping carried away with butterflies and fairies. Oh, no. Do you know what I mean? That will not be happening with me, everybody, I'm telling you. No, it will not. I couldn't care less how good looking somebody is, do you know what I mean? If they haven't got nothing up there and they're flipping old noddle, well, they're flipping no use to me. Do you see what I mean? You want somebody who you can talk to, who you can build a relationship together, you can find many things in common. Do you understand what I mean? There we go, where the two of you get along deliciously well. It's not only if you, politely speaking, I like to keep my channel clean, it's not only about, swinging off the chandeliers and flipping having a rumble in the jungle, everybody. You've got to be able to talk to that man or woman outside of the room, not just inside now. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh no, I make sure I make no mistakes, let me tell you. And really, and this is what others should be doing as well. But no, I totally disagreed with that. And that's why I never even watched the video, because I thought to myself, you know what, no. You cannot just brando women, it's crazy. Do you understand what I mean? No. There's usually something underlining, and I've met many in my lifetime, let me tell you. But the one thing that nobody should do, and this is man or woman, and I'm going to end the video on this. So I don't know. Anyway, I've just said what I said. The fact of the matter is that before anybody goes into another relationship, they need to first get themselves back together again. Yes, because if you're with somebody, you're part of their identity. Are you not? Yes, you are. So when you're on your own, you go back to being on your own. So you learn to get your own identity back. Do you see what I mean? So that you can repair yourself emotionally before you would ever wish to embark on a relationship with anybody. You have to, in your own noddle, right? You have to be at peace in your own noddle. And you have to say to yourself, yes, I can be on my own. I can be happy on my own. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And I can be free on my own. You can say to yourself, but you're not going to waste your time with somebody who's, it's just not going to work out. That's just silliness. In my noddle, in my mind, it's just silliness. Do you know what I mean? I would not want to be with a gentleman who, every 5 minutes you're arguing with him, or he's checking up on you every 5 minutes, or he's, just wants to cause a flipping ding-dong so he can flipping walk off and go and do his own thing. I've seen a lot of that over the years with couples. Oh, yes, I flipping well have. You see what I mean? They deliberately cause a flipping argument and then shoo, off they trot. Do you see what I mean? So they can go and spend a few days away doing whatever they choose to do, if you follow my meaning, my delicious little baby. So I know. Do you see what I mean? I've seen it that many times. There we go. Over the years, got all across my shoulders. You say. So I would never fall into that trap. I make sure, I'm 49 now, I'm not flipping, a teenager. I'm not flipping 18. Do you understand what I mean? At this age, you know what you want, and that's why many others should be the same. But I wouldn't never want a man like that. Any man like that, it's a no-go. It's like, it's nice knowing ya. Okay, see ya, do not want to be ya. Do you understand what I mean? And then you politely walk away. Do you see what I mean? But nobody should ever have to go into a relationship like that, ever. Because it's not healthy and it's not good for anybody. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention it actually. Yes, it's just food for thought, really. I do not believe anybody's crazy, no. I believe there's always something that has made man or woman that's, and I'm not going to say crazy, I'm going to say yes, maybe there's a few issues that need addressing and maybe they would need to talk to somebody, to discuss things. to get things off their chest so that then they can release, so that they can move into a new relationship very comfortably without fearing the worst all the time, or getting jealous or being possessive, or do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes? So that's all I've got to say, really. But I just thought I'd mention it. You know, I thought that was a bit flipping below the belt, to tell you the truth. But anyway, like I said, I never even listened to it, and I didn't want to listen to it. So I just thought it's just having a pop or swimming. And I'm not being nasty because, you know, I will get on with anybody, man or woman, anybody, right? At the end of the day, you know, but no, I stick up for us women there. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not all flipping, do you understand? No, we are not. And I certainly do not have any issues, put it that way. No, I do not. Do you know what I mean? I'm very happy to live in my own skin. And when I meet my Mr. Wonderful, my delicious gentleman, well, he can live in my skin and I can live in his. Do you know what I mean? Just got to lighten it up. So that's all I want to say, everybody, okay? So anyway, I've just been rambled on, but I just wanted to make my point anyway on a number of things. Anyway, so on that note, yeah, so please, everybody, just Rishi Sunak, well, we'll just see how long he lasts for. Won't be very long. And then, of course, these doctors and everything. Let everybody not forget about what they've been doing. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Then all of a sudden, they look like the flipping heroes when they're flipping not. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's how flipping the brainwashing, isn't it? Do you see, like I said before, and I say it again, this is the old flipping mentality, not meaning that in a nasty way. There we go. Delicious, beautiful little spirit's gone super bright. So on that note, thank you very much for even taking the time, if you haven't stumbled across me, to even listen to my video, okay? I hope that wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, that you have a super duper time, okay? Please feel a love. I haven't done that for a while, have I? Feel a love, okay? And yeah, let's just find things to, you know, to smile and be happy about. Do you understand what I mean? We have our serious moments, you know, which I do, but then we just have a little laugh at things. Do you understand what I mean? Because that's what life's about, isn't it? If everything's just super duper flipping serious all the time, well, it'd drive you round the bend. It would. Do you see what I mean, everybody? Anyway, so on that note, much love. God bless. Take care. Until the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.